Hi, sorry for the delay in getting the movie out, but I've got we've had quite a project here at the house. We have a brand new cargo van that we're converting into a camper van to spend a lot of time on the road in the next few years. And it's spring in Michigan, so just had our first back-to-back really nice days, and made it really easy for us to get some work done and cutting holes in the van roof and the side to allow us to get a fan in, and also some what we call shore power, I guess, so we can plug in when we're in campgrounds. A little sore, but I have looked at I did enjoy some of the hands that were played, and I really couldn't help but feel that we're doing pretty good. There are a lot of boards where people were reaching the right contract, and there was, a good cluster of people reaching the right contract and making, or at least failing at the same rate. So, congrats. But on to the first hand. So, board 7, we're starting late in the game. Board 7 has a hand that may or may not preempt in sitting in South's hand. It changes the hand drastically if you do not preempt. We had results of 4 spades in the east, 4 hearts in the south, making, and it shouldn't. So you really will influence who buys this contract. So the question is, should you preempt? Well, this is a good question. You're sitting in the first seat, which has the added benefit of, at least you're going to be preempting 2 people at the table who don't play with you, right? Sitting in the second seat, basically it's a 50-50 shot on who you preempt. But at least when you're in the first seat, you're preempting the first 2. I don't like to preempt with a void just because it's hard to bid afterwards. I like to have a fairly decent suit. I want my partner to build on my hand. But that said, this is a hand I would probably, in most cases, preempt with, white or red. Definitely if we were white versus red, but even red versus red, this is a hand I would tend to preempt on. So I would bid 2 hearts. The second interesting thing about this hand is what happens when my partner bids. So it turns out of the 2, it turns out that my partner had some values here, and this is what this 2-no trump means. It means it's got some values. We are definitely within. He's telling me if I'm at the top of my range, if I've got a good preempt, we probably should be in a game someplace. But it's an asking bid. Okay, it's saying, show me more, tell me more about your hand. There are a number of different ways to respond, but one way is very simple, right? Take the bid for what it means. I got 15 plus points, which means if you are at the top of your range, right, which means 9, 10 points, 8, 9, 10 points, 11 points, a good 8, that we need to be in game. So bid game, it can be that simple. So here I could say if I had 10 points, I could just bid 3 no trump, right? And then he'll either play it in 4 hearts or play it 3 no trump. This is one simple, natural way of responding. If you want to make it a little bit more descriptive, you could simply play it as the 2 no trump is asking me to show 2 things at once. One, show me that you have a good hand or a bad hand by either the bad hand by simply bidding 3 hearts, or if you have a good hand, show me a feature. Show me a high card in an outside suit. The high card in the outside suit is important because that's an access point. That's how we get to my hand if my partner is planning on trying to play 3 no trump. That's one aspect. You could be showing a feature. Okay? A more complicated way, but probably a superior way, is to learn some variation of a response that shows whether or not you have a good suit, right? A suit that could run on its own or get well started towards running on its own, a good suit and a good hand, right? So you can set it up so that you can go up the line with clubs being, I got a bad suit, I got a bad hand. Don't be messing around with this. Diamonds could be showing, hey, I got a good suit, but I've got a bad hand. The majors would both show good hands, right? Meaning 9, 10 points. And the lower of the 2 hearts showing a a bad suit, you know, like, and then the spade showing, hey, I've got a good suit, I got a good hand, you know. I always think those hands, for goodness, I got a good hand, I've got a good suit. Why am I opening two? But that's just me. Anyways, that system, if you want to look it up, August, Ogust, and there are many variations. If you play with someone, I have a partner, we agree that we're going to open at 2 levels, sometimes with 5 cards in the majors and 4 in the minor. And we reserve the 3 club bid to say, hey, it's only a 5-carder. All that's legal to do, that's not illegal. Of course, you have to, it has to be on your card that you'll do that. All right, so the robots simply play this as an artificial force. And you will notice that if you bid, let's say I bid, there's that king of diamonds, and I think that some people who ended up in 4 went wrong this way, right? And they call that a feature, right? And that means I've got a good hand and I've got the king of diamonds. Now look at what the good hand means, okay? It means 8 to 10 high card points. And I take that 8 seriously, okay? I don't want any crappy, I don't want to be upgrading from a crappy 7, which is what I have here, into 8. People might do that, say, oh yeah, but we've got a fit. You don't know you have a fit. Your partner could really want to play a different suit or play 3 no trumps. So don't go start counting dummy points and stuff like that when you don't know there's a fit yet, right? Instead, this is a preempt that sometimes does not even get open. What am I doing promising a good hand by showing a feature? And I think some people forget that. When you show a feature in response to 2 no trump, if that's your agreement, you're also showing a good hand. This is not that hand. So the right rebid here is 3 hearts. Your preempt has done its job. It's kept the opponents out of a spade fit. Right? You can see they had a spade fit. It kept them out of a spade fit. You're in 3 hearts and has the added benefit of actually making. Right? So you're going to go plus 140 on this hand when you open it up, and don't overvalue your hand because you have the king of diamonds and some shape. Next hand I wanted to look at was board 8. This is a hand where everyone landed in 3 no trump, with the exception of one group. Not going to look at the auction. Instead, we're going to look at the play, because this made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out of 7, and that's because we're part of our upbringing, once we're learning bridge, we learn opening leads, but our opening leads are not the opening leads. Our beginning opening leads are not the opening leads you want to live with. You don't want to stay there forever. Eventually, you need to start thinking about what works and what doesn't work. When does it make sense to lead 4th from longest and strongest in a no trump, and when does it make sense to look at something different? This is a hand, I made a comment to one table after this hand was played, that I said this hand to me screams out for a heart lead, right? Which I think left some head scratching, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit more. This is the way I see it. A link lead is great if you have a couple of honors in that suit in 5, right? Then you have or your partner has honors in that suit, maybe you bid them or something, and you have some support for them. Then it makes great sense to me to be leading from length. But if I have a hand like this, which is a balanced hand without any length, and my longest suit is headed by an ace and a lot of space, I really don't think I'm setting this suit up. I think it's the worst possible lead here. The ace of spades is how I'm going to get to my hand when my partner is, and maybe I can set up my other honors, right? So I see the king, jack, and the queen as all being potential tricks. The queen on a finesse, the king if it's sitting after the ace. Even if ace has ace queen of clubs, right? I could still score a club trick. Most of the time, you can't actually make progress by leading these suits. And it just happens in this hand that it still works out if you lead a small club. But a diamond lead and a spade lead give away the 9th trick. All right? A diamond lead and a spade trick give away the last trick, because you're setting up his spades, right? And in the diamonds, you don't need, you're giving away your finesse position. You had a chance of getting the queen of diamonds on finesse, and you gave it away. right? So the obvious lead to me is hearts. Now I say that also because of the auction. Now the robots, you'll notice that when they bid this two no trump, let's see if it'll pop up, is an invitational because they play four-way transfers. This is not how they show, hey, I have a four-card heart suit. But a lot of times it means they have a four-card heart suit, all right? Now the spade denies a four-card heart suit, right? He has short hearts, and that's because if he was 4-4 in spades and hearts and majors, right, he would have bid the hearts first. It's potential that he has 5 spades, but then he still wouldn't have 4 hearts because he probably wouldn't be opening it with a 5-4-2-2 shape. Probably wouldn't be opening one no trump. So to me, the heart suit is looking like a chance that even if there's 4 here, it could be something like 4, 4, 3 in my hand, 2 in East, right? If he doesn't have a 4-card major, then we're potentially looking at my partner having, if it being something like 3, 3, 5, 2, right? So the chances of my partner having honors seems to be best to me in the suit that I suspect might be his longest, which is hearts, right? So essentially, I'm going to try to set up tricks in my partner's hand in the heart suit. And I know my partner doesn't have much. Why do I know that? Well, they got to, the 2 no trump is probably 9, and the 3 no trump is probably 16 or 17, right? So I'm giving them like 25 points, give or take 1 or 2, right? So that's where my head is at on my lead. I'm not going to lead from these, the clubs, the minors, not leading from the minors, because I'm hoping to get those when led to, when East is trying to set up his suits, and he's having to take some finesses that they're coming through his hand into my weekend, into my honors. I'm not going to try to set them up by leading them. It doesn't make sense. I'm completely ignoring lead fourth from your longest and strongest because I'm not, it's a suit East has bid, right? He says I got a 4-card major. Why would I think that I can set up my 4-card major with the 8-4-2 when the guy to my right has said he has a 4-card major and he's got 16 points? So don't lead a spade here. It just doesn't make any sense at all, right? So based on that logic, I'm left with leading a heart, and I will lead it high because, I'll do the heart leading, partner. Don't lead these hearts back to me. If you have something there, don't lead them back to me thinking I have something too. Okay, so out of my hand. Great deal. You want to get out of your hand. And lo and behold, I hit the king, right? So that's 3 of his potentially 5 points, right? I have 10. They have 25. That's 35 points. That's 3 of them. So he may have another entry. If he does, it's probably a queen, or maybe it's 3, and he has another king, right? But we got one trick there. We got a heart trick. We got the ace of spades, and then I'm having these diamonds and clubs that I'm hoping they're going to come back to us. He in fact leads a diamond. Right now, where's the king? Could he have the king? It's possible. Still thinking my partner doesn't have the king of diamonds that East does, right? And that means he's going to be trying to score that king, or trying a finesse. Either way, I'm going to get a diamond trick, right? Where's the king of clubs? Ace of clubs. Yeah. It's not in my partner's hand, probably. He probably doesn't have 7 points, so it's over here, which means I have the king of clubs after the ace, right? So I'm going to score the king of clubs. I'm going to score a diamond. I'm going to score the ace of spades, and my partner already has a diamond bag. So we've got 4 tricks. Where else can my partner have an honor? Where else can my partner get a trick? Right? I don't have any doubts about it. I know. I know now that I started out on the right track. If my partner has another honor, it's a really good chance it's in his longer heart suit. Okay, so there's also a chance it's the ace of clubs. No, not probably not. But I don't lose anything here by playing the 4. So I could even cover, right? Because I'm still just going to score the ace, the king of clubs, because I believe the ace is an East. So I'll cover, make him play the queen. It might have been a bad play, though. Let's set up his 9 of clubs. I'll just eliminate the spades in West's hand before I take mine. And I'll go ahead and lead another heart. I don't think he can get back to his hand, so I think we're okay. Here comes back to the dummy. He leads, as I knew, you could see it at the start. Eventually I'm going to score my queen of diamonds, so long as the high honor isn't over here covering it in west. So I get my diamond trick, and where am I heading? Back to the hearts again. A 10. Right? This was not some wild guess at what the distribution might be in North. There was a reason to think that it could be that he held 4 hearts, or even more. I think he gets back here on the diamond. Yeah. Has to lead a club through the ace. He took another finesse, and he goes down 2. This is not brain science. This is just thinking, how can I get out of my hand and score my tricks by having them led to, right? We do this as a declarer all the time. We lead towards our honors, hoping to score a finesse, right? Here, queen of diamonds, good. King of clubs, good. And that's because while the queen could take the jack, it can't take the king, right? Looking over to my partner's hand, right, where I was hoping to find him with some heart honors, because that seemed like it could be his longest suit. Sure enough, he's 4-3-3, right? And the king and jack and 10. And look what West is holding, ace queen. This was the hand that we thought could hold 4. We knew this hand didn't have 4. And if we give 4 to our partner in that suit, that turns out to be our best fit, a 4-3 heart suit with perfectly placed honors in the hearts. You have to learn to play bridge, play defense with a sense of optimism. Like, what could be the best possible stuff for my partner to have? And then you have to play the hand for that business. You don't want your partner having to lead from king, jack, 10, 7. He can't set him up himself. He needs me to lead him. And I have to lead him without knowing exactly what the cards are, with just a picture in my head, a rosy picture, right, of what he could have and how well that could work out. In Next Steps, the course, not the tournament, we've been learning Lebensal for the last 5 weeks. This week coming up, we're going to take what we've learned from Lebensal so far and apply it with some modifications to how to bid after your partner doubles a week 2. And this could be a hand that we would use in class. So maybe I will try to remember to save it and use it in class. We open this beautiful hand, right? A 5-4-3-1 that has 20 points. King of spades being a stiff. Clearly, we need to, as following the Jeff Mextroth rule, all big hands begin with a double. It's exactly what we do. And then you'll see my partner bids 2 spades. Now, those of you who have been with me in Lebensal, and the robots play Lebensal here, will know that 2 of spades means I don't have anything, right? This is where we need to play it. It's essentially an attempt to sign off. In Lebensal, it is almost always a sign off. We don't bid after this, right? Because we're the limited hand. If we open 1 no trump, they interfere, say with 2 hearts, and East bids 2 spades. He's saying, I have 5 spades, I got no points. Basically, this is a hand I would have transferred on and dropped you, right? So we're at the right place, albeit, being played in the wrong hand, but we're at the right place, so please don't bid anymore. Not the same case necessarily when you're using Lebensal over a week 2, because you're an unlimited hand. The double is unlimited. It's not a 1 no trump opening with 15 to 17. It's an unlimited hand. Here, with 20 points, I'm not looking for a whole lot from my partner to make a game. So I bid on. And when I do that, it's essentially game forcing. It's all but game forcing. And I'll bid the 5-card heart suit. Right? And you can see for the robots, this is 19 plus points. Right? It means that my partner is almost certainly going to feel compelled to bid again. And here he just bids 4 hearts. Okay, nobody gets to this contract. A couple people get to 3 no trump, which is not a bad contract. I see it's going down once, makes once. This contract, however, feels much more comfortable to me, okay, rather than 3 no trump. Got to a suit. Partner doesn't help out a whole lot because he doesn't have 3. So But I get over my shock. Oh my God, I got to play a 4-3. I got to play a 7-card trump suit. Get over that. As soon as you can, get over it, right? And think instead about how to make the contract, right? Which is, I mean, our partner is throwing down 6 points, including the ace of spades, right? And we have the king. So what I would do on this hand is I would go ahead and win this one. And I've got I've got a bunch of clubs, right? And sadly, South is the hand that preempted, so it doesn't seem likely that he has the ace of clubs, but maybe he does. Robots make fairly good preemptives, so it would not surprise me if the ace of clubs is there. Certainly not worth abandoning the idea of playing him for the ace of clubs. So it seems like my only chance to make this is to ruff some hearts right away. We know the fit in diamonds. If South does in fact have 6, then it was 6-4, 6-4, 1 in my partner's hand, 2 in North's hand. So we know we can get a low ruff with the 5. I'll use the king of spades as an entry. Come back over here. Doesn't do a lot of good to I don't need to play the ace of diamonds and pitch a loser in the dummy. The losers in the dummy are meaningless. It's only the losers in your hand that matter. And I'll get rid of another loser here with the queen of hearts. Now I will play the ace of spades. Fingers crossed on this one, hoping it doesn't get roughed, right? Second spade led, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And now I'm down to pretty much winners in my hand, so long as we have a good heart split. Right, the ace of diamonds, once I pull trumps, will be a good card. And I've only got these 2 club losers to deal with. And the only way to score the king of clubs is really to find the ace in South, which when you do, you get an over trick. All right, he leads the diamond, and it gets roughed naturally. He only had 2. It comes back to the king of clubs. Fingers crossed. Does he have another? He does. And now there is no problems pulling the remaining trump. Right? And then you claim. So making 5, which is superior to the no trump contracts in this case. All right, so we'll come back to this in class. This is using Lebensal over a week, a double of a week 2. And in this case, it works out fabulously.